My name is Jamie Dixon. I'm the head basketball coach at the University of Pittsburgh. I'd like to talk to you about my little sister, Maggie. She was the head women's basketball coach at Army.
A month before her death from heart arrhythmia, 28-year-old Maggie Dixon led Army to its first NCAA tournament.
Army can celebrate the champions of the Patriot League.
Maggie turned a group of girls that didn't believe in themselves into believers.
Sometimes just participating in a sport takes courage and determination. Sometimes it takes fighting tradition, economic forces, even your own family's wishes. Our next story introduces a group of girls facing those challenges, girls who share a Hispanic heritage. Shelley Smith takes a look at some of the barriers to their inclusion in sports and the changes on the horizon.
Through the door to every gym, every field, every court, you can find someone who wants to play.
My dream is to be in the WNBA, go to USC, and from there try to beat the WNBA.
Diosaline Lopez is a freshman on the varsity basketball team at Garfield High School in East Los Angeles. It is a sport she learned 6 years ago playing against boys at the East LA Boys and Girls Club.
They tried to punk on me. They tried to be like, oh, you're not better than me. And I tried and I scored on them.
What was that like? What does that feel like?
It was really good. I felt like, oh yeah, I could beat the guys, you know. If I could beat the guys, I could beat anybody.
What was at first just something to do after school turned into her passion. But it's a passion Diosaline says her family doesn't fully support or understand. Diosaline's mother, Martha Lopez, was raised in Mexico and moved with her husband to Los Angeles before Diosaline was born. She says her daughter's interest in sports has been difficult to explain to the rest of her family.
Venimos de una cultura de que el básquetbol es para niños. En la familia es la única que está en básquetbol. Y muchas veces en mi familia dicen, ¿cómo le gusta el básquetbol si eso es para niños? ¿Solo le gusta a ella?
I understand what these girls are going through, because I went through it.
Drop, 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 Kim!
Jessica Perez once played basketball at Garfield High School. Now she's the head coach. Her parents, like Diosaline's, were born in Mexico.
I had kind of like the same issues that Diosaline had. My dad didn't want me to play. He felt that, you know, sports were for men, that it was too aggressive, that I was gonna get hurt.
Our culture can be very restrictive to the women.
Ana Arrojo is also Mexican-American. For the last 6 years, she's been the executive director of the East LA Boys and Girls Club.
I think for the families sports is not a viable career. If anything, it's boys who play soccer. It's boys who box. I really think it comes down to they don't know anybody who's done that.
While there are well-known athletes like Lorena Ochoa, Marta, Lisa Fernandez, and Nancy Lopez, for Diosaline, there are not enough visible Latinas in the sport that she loves.
Are there any female players that you know that you look up to?
Candace Parker, she's really good. Lisa Leslie, too.
Do you have any Hispanic role models or who are athletes?
Not yet, but I'm trying to look for them, like trying to see.
There's nobody, so what I'm hearing is at some point, I can't be that either. We're almost gonna have to put that in their head. You can be the first.
There has been little research that breaks down sports participation rates by ethnicity. A 2002 Department of Education survey provided data which showed that 32% of Hispanic high school sophomore girls participated in interscholastic sports activity, the lowest percentage as compared to Caucasians, African Americans, and Asian Pacific Islanders. A second survey completed 5 years later included grades K through 12, and the percentage of Hispanic girls participating in sports remained at 32%.
There are still some individuals that are reticent about having their daughters play sports.
Dr. George Iber is Cuban American and a history professor at Texas Tech University, who is writing a book on Latinos and sports. He cites economics as one of the primary barriers to participation.
A lot of these individual families are making the decision that it's too expensive. Your role is to help the family in helping your mother or helping your sisters or helping around the house or maybe getting yourself a part-time job. That is the focus to a lot of folks still.
Alexa Calderon said her parents supported her interest in sports growing up. She now plays softball for Trinity University in San Antonio.
I think they just wanted the best for me, and they saw talent.
There were no softball teams for girls in their hometown of Eagle Pass, Texas, right along the U.S.-Mexico border. So Alexa's father created a team. To find competition, they drove 2 and 3 hours to games twice a week.
We'd go to school from 8:30 to 4. And then right at 4, we had to rush to my parents' cars. We'd all jump in and we'd go to San Antonio.
In 2001, Eagle Pass was invited to participate for the first time in the Amateur Softball Association Junior Olympic State Championship in College Station, Texas.
At the introductory parade of teams, as our young ladies walked in, we heard some oohs and ahs, and we weren't quite sure why. And they told us that it was the first time they had ever seen an all-Hispanic girls softball team at the state championship tournament.
They really asked us when we were over there, like, do y'all know how to speak English? And we're like, duh.
It started creating a higher awareness for Hispanic parents in our community that it was good to have their daughters participate in athletics such as softball. The young ladies stuck it out and they continued to play. I think it broadened their horizons and enhanced their education.
Within the families who have been here a couple of generations, the flexibility and the idea that sports is a valuable mechanism, that is, I think, becoming more and more prevalent.
And there are other signs of progress. A 2008 Women's Sports Foundation study polled a group of female athletes, grades 3 through 12, and within that group, Hispanic girls ranked second to Caucasians, but ahead of both African Americans and Asians.
If you have family that are willing to give you an opportunity, that opens a lot of doors.
For Diaceline, that means convincing her family that her dreams are worthwhile.
I know that I'm gonna do my hardest to show her that I'm good and that I want to play and that this is my goal.
We all know you're gonna face obstacles. Everybody does. And the key of those who make it really is those willing to push through that.
Up next on Her Story, a 10-year-old Susie Kalber wants to play.